What's the toughest firing experience been like?
It's still to come.
The employee who convinced you to do the show? If at any point in our career we do something that gets us to jail, will you bail any of us out?
Not sure.
Have you been fired?
Yes, absolutely. I had one job. My boss was alright, but his boss wasn't.
Why are we also obsessed about bosses? I think in today's day and age, you can actually kill somebody.
Hi, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Raunaq. I'm a stand-up comic. This is the very first episode of a new show called CareerSh Advice. I stole the idea from a show called Relationship Advice, since everybody steals from that show anyway. So in today's episode, we have other comedian guests. We have Angad, we have Anirban, and we have Ronnie Screwvala, who you know is not a comedian. He's the guy who co-founded Upgrad. You've seen him on Shark Tank. He's the guy who built UTV, which eventually got sold to Disney. Now let's go watch CareerSh Advice. Woo!
Yeah, I think my first job was, I took a copywriter job in an ad agency for 3 months. In the first 1 month, my boss was a dickhead in that context. And I just felt I was a little smarter than him in any case. But actually, he turned out to be a really nice guy at the end of it.
When he became your employee. Oh.
Yeah, but I think in 2 months, I was quite clear that I just didn't want to work to fulfill somebody else's vision. Wanted to start off something on my own. I wasn't sure what it was.
Correct.
First 25 people that I employed, all of them, I got interviewed by their parents.
Are you sure this was for job or shadi?
No, but that was really incredible because at that stage it was like, who are you joining? What is this media? What is entertainment? What is that?
Because you had to convince their parents that there is a career in this line.
Yeah, I loved the candidates and they said, sorry, just one small thing. Would you be able to talk to my parents? Come home, talk to my parents.
Is that awkward? Like now I know somebody's parent. So now if I'm like a boss to them who's like a taskmaster who's like, khatam karo, their mom calls you and says, come on, Ronnie, we spoke about this.
No, I don't think so that happened, but I know what you're saying, yeah. But I think the big part is that we started our office in an absolute basement. And between 11 and 12, the power would go off. So we pitched dark kind of thing. And I think the parents came to look at our office and they said, this is a basement office. So I think that didn't help either.
Yeah, my parents once rescued me from someone's basement. So, no, I'm joking.
That sounds like a good story.
That was, UTV should produce it. So you spoke about your boss being shitty, your copyright boss. What is that?
No, shitty is a hard word. I just want to say what goes around comes around is what I would tell everyone who think that their bosses are
You just called
shitty.
all of them shitty, basically.
Exactly. That's why I wanted to say that what goes around comes around, guys.
Yeah, so are you saying that for yourself also? Are you saying like when I was an employee, so now I have employees and they are, is that?
No. I just think what goes around comes around. It does.
Okay. Whatever that means.
But I want to, have you fired someone?
Yesterday or?
Many. Why did you ask yesterday?
3 hours back, 6 hours back, 9 hours
life.
back.
What's the toughest firing experience been like?
It's still to come.
It's yet to come?
Yeah.
The employee who convinced you to do the show?
Firing is a big word. I know it's a fun word. It sounds like a punchy word. But I don't think in today's day and age, you fire people.
I mean, aag nahi laga rahe ho, but...
That's what they did 25 years ago.
Yes.
That's why the parents were like, if you light up my son.
I mean, you are right. It's firing only.
It's not like a TV show where it says you're fired. I don't think it works that way. You build a trust. If you want to build something, you build a trust. There were 2 things that I think worked out for me at the early stages because we went bankrupt almost 3 times before I fired anybody. So then I think by that time, everyone knew that if I was really firing somebody, it would be because of that person and not because of any situation. So I think that builds a certain level of trust.
If you've gone almost bankrupt thrice and if you came to me, I'd be like, I get it, dude.
Yeah, you would be like, aapko 100 rupiya chahiye mere se?
No, but the first time I did say we can't meet payroll, they said, let's take you out for a drink.
Nice.
Yes.
Oh, how sweet.
The punchline is they knew I don't drink. That's why they said, let's take you out.
But I have fired someone also.
Really?
Yeah. One.
But how many people have you employed?
I didn't hire this guy.
Okay.
So he came from some other team to me and they were like, my boss told me, oh, he's a great guy, ye wo. I sat down and then I realized usko profit nikalna hi nahi aata hai. So I told him the profit nikalna nahi aata hai. Told him the calculation. He was like, sir, aapne jo aaj mujhe samjhaya hai na, आज तक किसी ने नहीं समझाया. And then 1 week later, he again forgot the formula. So I was like, अरे निकालो यार इसको कुछ और काम दो.
Have you been fired?
I fired this person, but I've been fired from my
In
MBA.
that previous
What
Yeah,
goes
that
around comes around.
around. Yeah.
By the way, I've gotten fired from a family business. That's
That's not firing.
That's called disowning.
my father's a real estate agent, and that's what Sindhi uncles do, right? They either show flats or they sell clothes. It's like if you do something else, they're like, get out, you're Marwadi now. And my grandfather was also a real estate agent, and my grandfather was like a really good real estate agent because he came from Pakistan and slept on the footpath. Like, he had no home, and then he would sell homes. This is the kind of real estate agent he was. And then his grandson was told, show 203, and I showed 302. And I not even liked it. This is what happened. Okay, I ring 302 with my client, and I'm like, flat dikhana. And this guy was like, is my landlord selling? And I was like, hato, flat dikhana, chalo.
Oh my God.
I was Raunaq's boss at one point.
Yes.
What, really?
Yes.
Whoa.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was going to bring that up at some point.
Then why didn't you stop his career?
I was a writer at East India Comedy. And
So you left because you bitched him out, or?
no, I left because I knew they were going to fire me.
Raunaq, how was it having 7 bosses?
I remember Angad one day was just frustrated. Angad was like, all the money that comes in gets divided by 7 people. Raunaq, at this point, I think you get paid more than us.
Which is true.
Before East India Comedy, before your first viral video, you also had a bunch of corporate jobs, Angad.
3.
Was there ever like a moment in your corporate life when you were like, damn, what the fuck is going on? Why am I doing this?
Yeah, obviously, I think after my MBA, the first job I got, when we joined the company, 6 employees थे सिर्फ, and उन्होंने हमें first day जाके basement में बिठा दिया, and then every week on Monday they would give us a task, and Friday को वो evaluate करते थे. But we could get the task done by Tuesday.
Okay, that's good.
तो बाकी 3 दिन तो मैं बीच में जाके movies भी देख लेता था.
So why were you mad when I did that?
And then, so this went on for 6 months, and we were like, wow, what a chill company, dude. Salary they raise, losers. And 6 weeks later, they were like, hey man, we don't think you're good enough for us. So I was like, ये roadies का audition चल रहा था क्या? I didn't know. I had to do task every week. They kept 3 people and they fired 3 of us.
Right.
And college March में खत्म हुआ. We joined in April. By May, I was unemployed. Then June में a scam broke out. जहाँ पे ये पता चला कि मेरे MBA कॉलेज में मेरे बैच के 22 बच्चों ने एडमिशन लिया था थ्रू चीटिंग. Somebody else gave the test and everything. We used to call them special 22. उस टाइम वो special 26 आई थी. And then one day I got a call from a junior when he was like, सर आपसे बात करनी. मैं कहा हाँ बताओ क्या हुआ. कह रहा सर मैं भी उस चीज़ में फंस गया जिसमें आप फंस गए. मैं कहा मैं किस में फंस गया. कह रहा सर आपने भी तो चीटिंग करके एडमिशन ली थी. मैं कहा नहीं हरामखोर मैं निकम्मा था. बट मैं चीटिंग नहीं करता.
You tell first कि ये कौन सा MBA कॉलेज था?
This is Narsing Munji.
Oh, nice.
This is crime. NMIMS. You can check out.
Yeah.
The scam came out in 2013. It's an episode of Crime Patrol also.
Hey, wait. Yeah, I saw that. You were in that episode, bro.
No.
Was it a matter of pride that, yeah, I'm special biased, dude. I got in.
I don't think people think like you. Yeah, there was a lot of shame attached to it.
Have you been fired?
Yes, absolutely. I had one job before. Unlike you two, I started my career on the 2nd floor, and because that's where my office was, and then I came down. I had just one job after my engineering. It was a like hardcore field sales job, and field sales is like the lowest level of the corporate hierarchy. We are even below watchman, and I was there for about 4.5 years, and then finally I quit for stand-up.
Is there like one crazy boss or something you had?
My boss was all right, but his boss wasn't.
Okay.
Okay, so that trickled down to me.
What happened?
It's exactly like plumbing. You know, when there is a problem on the upper floor, you know oh, you don't.
I was probably on the wrong floor. But the basement guys know everything.
So like sales is very like cutthroat, like, a lot of competition and like everybody's trying to like bid over each other. So there was a bidding process in one big company. I think it was it was somewhere in Bihar. I went with my boss. I was shadowing my boss at that point, trying to learn the trade. And my boss went to this purchase manager's office and he saw our competitor's coat on the table and he gave me the job to steal that. Okay. Yes, literally said that you have to steal that so that he feels that competitor hasn't bid. And it was amazing. It was one of my greatest achievements. And so then when the purchase manager went to the bathroom, my boss, he was like looking at outside, like, so that nobody comes in. I went and I took the papers. I took the visiting card of the salesperson of the competitor as well. I did my job very nicely and I put it in my bag. And we came back. My boss was extremely happy that here's a guy who will steal at a drop of a hat. And
क्या बढ़िया संस्कार मिले घर से.
Sales has no ethics. Okay, sales is literally like you have to basically convince somebody to give you money for something they don't need. Right? It's more. It's
a great day for Ronnie to come here. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, listen, by now you obviously understood. If you ask us for career advice, that's not what we're going to give you. You're only going to get bakwas. Sure, maybe Ronnie. Ronnie's a guy with a conscience, but not Anirban, not Angad, not me. We stand for bullshit. But listen, if you take your job seriously, if you're one of those losers, it's a good thing only, don't take my advice. But listen, if you want to take your career seriously, maybe up your skills, maybe job switch, maybe change your career field, then Ronnie and Upgrad have put together 50 free one-on-one slots with their professional counselors. The expert counselors will understand your situation and give you the right advice, unlike what I gave you. They are surely empathetic people, and I think that's pathetic people. The link for this is in the description. Go get it. Love you, Upgrad.
While we were coming back to Kolkata, we were on a train. My boss was very happy. He told like everybody in the office that Anirban has stolen nicely. And after a while, I realized it was so dumb, whatever I did, because my competitor only got the order because my boss, also dumb, he told me to like steal the physical coat, but he did not know that email has been invented, internet is there, phone में भी number save होता है. So the purchase manager just called the competitor कि तेरा कोट शायद खो गया, email कर दे, and we lost that order despite my best attempts.
I think Super Boss was fine only. तुम दोनों बेवकूफ तो थे.
But have you realized we're so obsessed with talking about bosses? We're talking about our own careers, but we actually talk about our bosses. Is there a reason for that? Why are we all so obsessed about bosses? You're planning your own career. You're doing what you want to do.
Yeah, bosses don't matter.
Why the fuck should a boss come in the middle and
sounds like
bugger
a
it all
boss
up?
sympathizers talking.
Somebody's got to say it the other way around.
हम इतने भी बुरे नहीं हैं.
Okay.
Let me balance it out.
Yeah, let's switch. Let's hear your worst employee stories.
Worst employee? No, there aren't any, but I just feel...
Oh, come on.
No.
Come on, Ronnie.
I think you should start drinking.
Yeah.
You'll probably open up a little bit.
Yeah, come on, Ronnie. You gotta... Okay, we'll edit... I promise you, we'll edit it out.
He will not.
No. I don't have a problem with editing out or not. But I'm just saying, if you got a career that's going for you, don't let a boss screw it up. Because I think we get too obsessed with that thought process.
Okay.
100% is editing this out.
You're saying eyes on the prize. Don't let anything discourage you.
No, you'll have a bad day, you'll have a good day, you'll have a good day, bad day. If you're going to put a benchmark on how you want to plan your career with how your bosses and you're going to pick them, you're not going to be able to pick them always. But there's always a way to handle a boss. I think the people who are going to really survive in a great job and not survive because of the boss is by handling the situation. Because if you can't handle a boss, I don't know how you're going to handle problems.
The whole point of problems is that you avoid them.
No, but you're going to have problems. But I think boss bitching is very important. It really bonds the team.
No, come at 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
That is what it is, yeah. Boss bitching. I miss those days. The only thing I miss about my job is
No, it's
bitching about my
perfectly
boss.
fine at 9 o'clock to come in and have a bitching session
Right.
at 9 p.m. No problem with that. But I'm just saying, don't wreck your life because of that.
Correct.
How many of you all are happy in your job?
Make some noise. Make some noise. Just make some noise if you're not happy in your job.
Not happy. ये तीन ही है सिर्फ. क्या हुआ?
He also booed.
So I would just say, if you're not happy in your job, get happy in your job. Don't change the job. That's not going to answer your question.
Okay.
No, but I love this when one of you all said, for the last 1 month, I'm serving my notice period. I'm so happy. I'm not talking to her. She's not talking to me. That was like, it was, yeah.
Okay.
You're feeling good about that, right?
Can we talk to you?
Like
Can we
what?
put this part in the episode? Can we talk to you about this?
Yeah, he's
Okay.
serving notice. How does he care?
Okay, Ronnie, let's make a deal here. He's gonna talk about his real emotions, okay, and that might risk burning bridges. If he never gets a job because of that, you're making him a high senior employee in Upgrade.
No, he'll figure it out himself. He will figure it out
You're
himself.
making him.
Arey,
You're
just
making
say
him
yes.
Because I don't want him to. No, I don't want him to ignore me when
Yeah.
his notice period is up.
He already has a job, by the way.
next job lined up. Okay.
What is the most terrible thing your boss did to
Yeah,
you
what did he
or
do to
anybody
you?
in the team?
My mom had gotten a fracture and we were going to the US. I needed to pack stuff. So I took a leave that day. Like we were going to US that day night and my mom got a fracture in the morning that day. So I took a leave that day. And she's like, you need to inform me in prior about these things. I'm like, you know, I can't predict this. And then she went on a barrage. She bitched to everyone in office. She doesn't know how to privately tell someone to do their work. She's like, यार ये काम नहीं हो रहा है कब से लाइफ में काम ही नहीं हो रहा है.
I'll summarize it. You had a really good job, but you had a bad boss according to you. And
I
then
didn't say really good job. I just mentioned the bad boss part.
Okay, yeah. So you had a bad job and a bad boss. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You got to
good.
pay the bills. It's
So
just a
finally you
job.
went, you spoke to HR, they agreed on it, they moved you, and then you decided to quit.
No, when they moved me to a different boss, they were like, you'll still be doing ad hoc duties for the previous boss. So I was like, no way.
Why not?
Wow.
Because sir, ad hoc duties are my entire day.
Right. And I think it's fair if you have a person who's ruining your life and this is like 8 hours of your day, you can be a little irritated and
And
want
he
to
got another job, so
Yeah.
why should he?
Yeah,
not?
it's not like I would have left if I didn't get another job. I only left because I got something better.
And
so.
then what? What will happen the next time this happens? What will happen the next time after that happens? You're in your 20s?
Yeah, I mean, I'll learn to manage my boss better. I'm learning. I tried a lot of things. Like I did all sorts of experiments.
Yeah, I think you
None of them
remember
worked.
this learning.
Experiment? What the fuck is experiment? Did you pour like sodium on your boss? What the-
Okay, Ronnie, how should he have managed this boss?
I think in today's day and age, you can actually kill somebody with kindness. You can do whatever you want to do.
You cut the last part.
With kindness came a little. In this day and age, you can kill somebody. You're like, "Arey."
If you have a shitty boss, you can kill them. Okay? Don't change your job.
That's a great ad, by the way.
I'll give you 5 minutes and not 15 days, and you'll be on my side. I promise you.
Ronnie, the deal with Upgrade is this guy is cancelled.
Yeah.
But मैंने generally ये चीज़ देखी है. I've seen unmarried bosses are worse, especially if they're in their 40s. They're just so frustrated in life.
Right.
And वो सारा frustration फिर वो employees पे निकालते हैं. सड़ू से रहते हैं. जैसे शादी हो जाती है फिर वो बीवी से सड़ते हैं घर पे.
Oh, so you're saying that you gotta have someone at home who takes the hit first, right?
With kindness. Don't physically hit somebody, okay?
Or you just go to a Coldplay concert. I am 22M. I have recently moved to Mumbai and started my first job. I am in a weird situation where my boss is also my landlord.
ये रौनक का सवाल है. From the past.
That means if I mess up at work, not only does my job feel at risk, but my rent could also go up. On work from home days, he drops by my apartment to check the plumbing. I have come to realize that this is such a toxic situation because if I plan to leave either one of them, then the other is at risk. How do I break free from this without losing both? This is like when your wife is also a divorce lawyer.
Hey, I'm glad you're having fun watching this video. To watch the rest of the episode, you have to watch it on Upgrad's YouTube channel. It's the link in the pinned comment, the link in the description, and it's probably here somewhere. Go watch the rest of the episode and comment here as well. Woo!